Come on. The doors are open, folks. The siren is off. Us junkies are united. Come on into the Double RT Boxing Show. Welcome to the show. This is the rehab center for all us boxing junkies, known as the Double RT Boxing Show. So no matter what your fix is, what your high is, you will not be judged here at the Double RT Boxing Show. If you like a straight line of fucking heavyweight knockouts, we'll fix you. We got you. If you like to shoot some straight jab in your veins from the bantamweights, we got you. We got you. You like to straight roll up some WBSS tournament style? We got you. The Double RT Boxing Show. We understand there's a boxing junkie in all types out there. In this show, Mr. A's Thoughts. Man, this is a true junkie segment. For all those who watched Mr. A's Thoughts, you are a junkie, and we are here to help you. Now, this show, I'm actually surprised I'm not hearing more about it, and I'm glad I finally get around to it. Top Rank, now you follow the show. This is Top Rank's first card of April. We got to track it down. We got to track down the promotion, who's going to be the promotion of the month, so that way we could tally up the wins of the month and who's the promoter of the year along with knockout of the year. That's what we do right here on the Double RT Boxing Show. If you're a new viewer, we track what's the best of the month, and then also if you're a new viewer, thank you for giving me your time and support and helping those who have joined the audience and who have happily admitted they're boxing junkies. You could join us to admit you're boxing junkie, watch a few episodes. You could finish this one, watch a few in the back past, see if you are feeling comfortable in this home of other junkies, and come on, subscribe. Now, like I said, this is part of the full fight card review, part of the promotion. See who's going to be promoted in the month. And what I say, I'm not surprised. I'm very surprised. I am. I know it's a small subject, but it's kind of, to me, it's big in boxing. And I'm surprised no one is really talking about this more. Top Rank's card in the UAE. The card itself we're going to get to, but the subject of it being the card is actually in the UAE. How many times in the last 4 years, we heard so much, the UAE will pay this amount of money to have this fight. How much money were they throwing for Amir Khan and Floyd Mayweather? Remember, they used to throw stupid money at that fight. Then they threw stupid money at Pacquiao and Mayweather. And so many fights get there and then fall apart. And then finally, Top Rank Bob Arum got a fight over there. Is the money real? Is it really accessible over there? Can boxing be done? Considering the money they say they were throwing around, boxers can get fucking paid. They were like throwing DAZN money around before DAZN. Now, the card itself, like I said, it being the first in the UAE era, it didn't have no big wow names, but it did, however, have the second ever professional boxer from that region, the UAE era. And the whole card was good. I'm gonna say this is only it's a strong start for Top Rank, considering I don't recall Top Rank winning each of the first months. I know TJB's been coming on strong. Maybe Top Rank did win one. I'm sorry. Right. Double RT Boxing, Mr.A. I'm a boxing junkie. My head ain't all there. But this card itself, like I said, the names, the card won't get no points for its names, like the names of the fighters. However, where is he at? The Mahaj al-naqbi, he's the second ever fighter from this region. He might be a star. This card had, we'll talk about first the overall card, before we get into the fighters. The commentary was good. the commentary really kept you intrigued. At least for me, you know, I had no idea who these low 6 rounders, 8 rounders, 4 round fighters are. These debuts, and the commentaries kept me intrigued, kept well paced dialogue to the action because this card was good, you know, and they were flowing well off each other. Um, no, it was the commentary. I can't think of the name, but I know it was. I want to say McQuiggan, but I know it was the MTK um, promotion, like a set as well. So the commentary was on point. Now the atmosphere, the actual setup of the event, you know, that's what we do. We analyze the card, you know, we analyze the what it is, the crowd participation, the commentary. We analyze everything and say this is what the best event was, you know, not just what's on paper. That's what we do right here on the door. We're boxing junkies, boxing junkies. Hit that thumbs up if you have not. If you watch this card, was that front row? I know a lot of countries, and that's why I like. That's why I wanted to see this card. If you've been watching the WRT boxing, you know one of my favorite places to watch boxing is Ghana. I love the way their crowd participation is, the atmosphere, and then I noticed like in Russia they do a lot of the round tables. Like that's not big over here in the United States. It's like front row trying to get monies and all that stuff. They don't treat it like an event, and I wanted to see how this the UAE was going to treat this boxing thing. And those front like 5 rows, those seats look comfortable as fuck. Those big ass white things, that shit looked nice. It was on a golf course, so the setup was kind of. They didn't really. They kept talking about the skyline, but they didn't really. They showed one view, I think, of the city, but they didn't show more of a far scape of the ring of how it looked. You know, it would have been kind of cool to actually see how it looked. But the crowd itself was a little thin, but it was its very first event of boxing with its second only professional boxers. That means the whole card was foreigners, and they were clapping and showing appreciation for a guy who got beat up, and he'll fire right back. They're like, "Oh yeah," like they admired his will to keep fighting. So they show that appreciation for foreigners. They're clapping. That was cool. You always like to see unbiased boxing atmospheres. It's better for a show. So to see them clap for appreciation of foreigners, that's good. That's good for the sport. You don't feel like you're gonna get robbed when you go over there. But now going over there might be a problem. The money's good, but I heard the commentary say it's 11. It's getting close to 11 o'clock at night, and it's still warm. Now and he's saying plus under the hot lights, so that might fuck with some boxers. They're like, I don't know if I want to go through that, but the money talks. And then the card itself, I wish I knew because they're talking about some big people might show up. I'm not too sure if the guy who threw it on through the event was the dude in the golden. I don't know what that thing's called. I'm gonna call it the wrap, the golden wrap. And everyone else had on white, and he had like a golden one on. So he might be the guy. He might be like the man behind it, Ali something. That might be him. I'm not too sure. Now, he seemed pretty pumped on the fighters, though, you know, so he could have been well invested in the show. Now, as far as the 5 fights, it was a pretty good card. No names except for I said probably half that, and it wasn't most of that crowd probably went for Majad al-Naqbi, who fought third on the card. So you got a crowd for 5 fights, and only the main event was a resident of theirs. He's Nigerian, I believe. And what's his name? Lasisi. Yeah, he's originally from Yeah, Nigeria, but he's a resident of the UAE. So they had another reason to go, but the actual UAE born fighter for third. The first fight was a nice one, you know. Houston born, the Houston Texan, an Indian. He came on strong towards the end. You thought he was gonna do the upset of the white dude Tapia, but he just took some shots. Tapia looked good putting shots together. You know, when he's had the distance, a good eighth round barrage to stop him. Like I said, it was an entertaining fight back and forth. The second fight, um, it sucks that's not quite listed in order on this damn box rec, man. So excuse me for that. I got to track the shit down, man. Where's the second? Zerback. The way he dropped Tahoe, he left him lifeless, man. Like I said, he was putting some hot shots together. He just kept landing right hooks, but when he's finally in the fifth round, he just dropped him with that chin. The hit. It kept hitting all night, but it just legs went on him. He buckled. Beautiful, beautiful knockout. And then the debut of the UAE resident, he finished. You know, it was worrisome because the crowd was cheering him on what he was doing because he came out firing with flurries, looking good. You know, a lot of these fighters lack defense with the head movements. You know, even the main event, they were saying like these guys need levels. But and the good thing on this card was now it had its intriguing moment for the fighters because it had title shots, it had belts on here that gets them within the top 15. You know, and that is huge, man. That's how you better your career. That's how you better your family. That's how you get more money for your family. You know, like who cares about those belts, man? Fuck those belts. And right here on the WRT Boxing Show, that's what we do. We talk about those belts. You know, the top 15. We talk about that for you new viewers. The lingo is the best fight the best. That's for us. That's 1 through 15, and the champions are the champions. And we try and talk about the belts. And for instance, this card, except for our first card in the UAE. The first three fights, the first two were good, back and forth competitive action. Second one ended with a nice fucking lifeless KO. The third one, the UAE born guy, Naqbi, Mahad al-Naqbi, he came out strong, you know, throwing some pretty good combinations. But it gave that suspense, like, oh shit, is he getting tired? Because he'll take a shot here and there. You know, the Indian dude, I mean, the Chinese dude wasn't Litton. He wasn't quite going along with the script. It's like, dude, you should lose, man. But finally, he himself got clipped. You know, so everyone was getting clipped on this thing. You know, they're like, okay, stop. And when it comes to the co-main event, the Joyce and Steven, that was another clipper. You know, back and forth action, guys taking hits. You know, the Joyce guy who's supposed to be, he got rocked at one point, almost close to being knocked down at one. He got hit with an uppercut in the fight and kind of just like did a freeze moment. You know, it's one of those things. Like even the comments are like, "Did he just freeze? Did he freeze?" But you know, he fell. It was a good moment, but he rallied back. Even though he was the favorite, he ended up knocking. He had a stunt, dude. He buckled Tiffany's knee. Like I said, this was a good card for a lot of aspects of boxing. The first time event, it brings a lot of money to boxing. Because if this is slowly start to get successful, like I said, these guys were throwing out the zone money before the zone came around, and these guys are gonna. I said, and they're very welcoming to foreign fighters. This could be huge. Don't be surprised if you try and hear top ranking Bob Arum saying, "Come on, Wilder," you know, Fury and Wilder and Dubois. Come on, it's gonna be hard because of time differences and all that. But don't ESPN with this type of money throwing supporting events. Come on, Wilder, come to Dubois. Watch. And then you got the main event, La Sisi and Blandon. That was a good, and that was for the, like I said, the Joyce and Tiffany was for the WBO European featherweight. That gets into the top 15. And he won it with a knockout. And Joyce is all like, "Hey, dude, all the champions, I fought them as amateurs and stuff. They know me. They know I could bang with them. So like, oh, okay, well there you go. He is up there at age. He's 32 years old. So okay, they must know him then. He's I bang with them. They know I can hang. You know, is he just blowing smoke? I don't know. And the main event, La Cece and Blandon for the WBC International Super Flyweight title. You know, La Cece got dropped in the, I think, fourth round, fifth round with a clean hit. He now they're saying how Blanton came down in weight and CC was on like a 6-fight knockout streak, but against, you know, very domestic local opponents. And this dude Blanton just he couldn't stop Blanton. He couldn't keep him off him. You know, he had to fight and throw punches. It was a good fight. It was an entertaining fight. Blanton came on strong, landing clean shots. CC was trying to throw body shots on him. Like I said, this also was a fight where I had a moment. It had another moment like, oh shit, is CC gonna fade out and get upset? But no, he came on. He's strong. He won the vacant WBC International Super Flyweight title. So again, for a first time event, the undercard, the prelims you want to not the prelims, but the first three fights. First two fights were entertaining, back and forth action. The third fight, the debut, was entertaining. Had suspense. Oh shit, is he tiring out? And the crowd suspense supporting him. You know, and the fact that this was an MTK event. It did that post fight interview where they sit on the ring. I like that look. I think the post fight interview on the side of the ring is a little better than inside the ring. I don't know. I think it just adds a different look to it. I like it. It gives you more with the fighter. You feel more connected. I don't know. Mr.A's thoughts here, right? Like I said, overall, this is a good card, good event for boxing. I found it to be. And as far as promotion of the month, this is a good start for Top Rank. Even though this card is very small, with the names, it turned out to be entertainment. I found it to be. And then you got Lomachenko card coming up. You got Crawford card coming up. Top Rank could just shut down the month by mid-month. Right here on the Double RT Boxing Show. This is Mr. A's Thoughts. Full card review. Top Rank. Thank you for your time and support.